And why are we doing this? This is kind of point number two. Why do we need to do this absolute accuracy rule? This is going to be very tedious and very mundane, as you can imagine, because you're literally going to be sitting there playing the same exact thing 8 times in a row until you have it. And if you make one mistake, so if you practice and you're at your seventh iteration of this measure and you make a mistake on iteration number 7, you now have to go back to iteration number 1 and try to get that 8 in a row again. It's going to be tedious, but in the end, it's going to help you because you're really going to get that muscle memory ingrained in your body and also mentally as well. Okay. So that's kind of why we're doing this, is to get that memory in place. Like in point number 3, we are training our brains to practice the correct way. So when you're practicing something and you play the same thing, but you play it 5 different ways. So if you're playing even something super simple like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you're playing with different fingerings each time, or you're playing with different phrasing each time, or you're hitting different notes each time, the incorrect notes, your brain gets very confused because now you're telling it, it's like, okay, how do you want me to learn this, Josh? Do you want me to play with finger number 3 on this note? Is it an A note that you want me to play? Is it a G note that you want me to play? You basically just practiced it 7 times, 7 different ways. And your brain gets very confused, your muscle memory gets very confused, and it can slow down your progress. It can slow down your learning of that song, and it can give you quite a steep learning curve if you're changing the way you're practicing every single time you practice. That's where this AAR method kind of eliminates that, because you're giving your brain clear instructions. You're doing it the same exact way every time. So your brain is much more accepting of what you're trying to give it, right? If you think of like anything else, like if you are a business owner and you have employees, or if you are maybe a parent and you tell your kids to do something, you're trying to show them some kind of skill, maybe like some kind of carpentry, or how you want the dishes to be put away, whatever it is. If you teach somebody something the same way and you teach them 7 different ways of how to do it, they're probably going to be confused because they're not going to know which way that you want it to be done.